Well, it's been a very busy week down at Ellen Road, hasn't it? The appointment of Sam Allardyce, Robbie Keane and Carl Robinson are major pieces of news for us. I think Sam's taken on a bit more than he can chew with this particular job. We are in a real mess down at the bottom of the Premier League. Fixtures are not in our favour and we're facing 3 of the top 6 in our final 4 games. I don't quite know how we're going to get any points out of them. But you never know, Big Sam might have some kind of miracle, some kind of prayer, some kind of magic wand in order to try and keep us up in the Premier League. You have to go back as far as January to see a loss for Manchester City, and that was at Old Trafford when they suffered from a dubious offside decision, Marcus Rashford. You might remember that, you might not. But Manchester City are, without a shadow of a doubt, well worthy champions this season. They've run the full distance pretty much with Arsenal. Arsenal, of course, slipping down the gap, let alone minding the gap this year. And I think that the Premier League trophy is going to end up down at the Etihad come the end of the season. So, what can I talk about in this particular video? Are we going to get a victory? Probably not. It's highly unlikely. However, you never know. Brentford have beaten Manchester City also this season. Might be worth mentioning that result happened right before the players started to depart for the World Cup. So I assume that the Manchester City players, most of them would have had other things on their mind. So it's all to play for Leeds. How will Big Sam line up? Let's have a quick look at what I would do against such a quality opposition. Well, I came up with this lineup and I'm encouraging Sam to have a bit of experimentation, have a look at players who haven't featured heavily for us yet this season. And I'd start by giving MCILEE a rest, put Robles in, Ayling in the right back, Wober and Cooper if they're both fit, and Firpo on the left back position, Somerville in the right, Forshaw in the middle, centre of that midfield there, and probably give Javi a go. Playing as a bit of a left winger. Obviously that could change and there could be a bit of rotation there with other players. Wilfred up front on the left, flanking Rutter in the middle, and then put Sonny Perkins on the right hand side. So a completely changed starting 11 there from what we're used to. A lot of differences, but certainly I would say to Big Sam, we're going to have to go out there and gamble. We're going to have to try and play against them. I don't think that sitting back and putting everybody in the 18-yard box is the style that Leeds United fans want to see. I certainly don't believe that it's going to be productive for us against Manchester City. They will open us up at some point if we do try and defend for 90 minutes. So we're going to have a go at them, and we're going to have a bit of balance in the side of where we can break out. We've got plenty of pace up front. We can knock those long balls over the top and get some young runners, some fresh legs onto them, and hopefully cause their defence some problems. That seems to be how Brentford approached the game. They didn't mess about as soon as they got the ball or they intercepted a pass. It was bang, straight up the field, and they'd have runners running onto it. Tone had a great game that day against Manchester City. So this is my proposed lineup. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Maybe you wouldn't want to experiment. Perhaps you're too worried about goal difference. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments. The reason why I say we should experiment a little bit is because in my mind they've pretty much all but won the title this season. If we have a look at some of the stats that we can see above here, home form particularly, played 17, won 15, drawn 1, lost 1. An incredible goal difference, and of course if they unleash Erling Haaland on us, we better hope that A, he's got his slippers on, B, perhaps he's bumped his head and he's struggling with his eyesight, or C, perhaps he just loves Leeds United so much he doesn't want to score and completely embarrass our defence. 57 goals for, conceded 16, that's a goal difference at home of 41. PPG 2.71 points per game, I think that is, and they are actually averaging 3.55 goals per game at the moment. What does a successful afternoon look like for Leeds United? Well, in my opinion, Last season we conceded 7 goals when we went there. If we do anything better than that, then that's going to be a good afternoon for us. But a terrific afternoon for us would be having a goal difference of less than 2. So, example, Manchester City 5, Leeds United 4. Okay, so we have to be really, really careful about the goal difference, and especially looking at the other sides around us in the Premier League, it's going to be very important for us to make sure that we don't concede so many goals, and if we do concede, try and go back up the other end and nick another one from them. We also know that it's going to be a very tough afternoon for us, so what I'm going to ask you for is 3 likes on this video, and I'll do a watch along. Apparently it is on Sky Sports anyway. Of course, if you like the content and you wish to subscribe, don't forget you can press the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, set your bell notifications to all, and do all that other YouTubey stuff. Come on Leeds, marching on together, let's try our best to get through these next couple of weeks and keep us in the Premier League. And of course, let's all back Big Sam. See you there.